Hey everyone, it's Lee. So yesterday I had what I deem to be a near-death experience. Most people would probably just say it's just a really serious pain, but I thought I was dying. So I decided I need to keep cataloging this stuff, not only for the purposes of just, having something on the internet, but now I guess I kind of need a will, and I'm too lazy to hire a lawyer. So this is showing my collection so people know what I had before I died. So this is the Sega Master System. My only experience with the system before buying it recently, well, not that recently, I've had it for a couple of years, was this kind of annoying kid at school who invited me over, and we weren't having a great time until his dad popped out the Sega Master System. I'd never seen it before. We played a bunch of Alex Kidd and Shinobi World and nothing else, and it was great. And then we realized our whole friendship was based on that, and when we tried to do anything else, we wouldn't get along, so that pretty much ended quickly. So this is my Sega Master System. I've actually owned two different Master Systems. The first one was kind of hit and miss when it came to starting it. This one I actually bought as part of I really wanted the game it came with, and the system was basically free because the game was only $20. So I took this thing. I love it. This is the regular controller. Here's a little kind of hole where you can put a joystick if you got one. I don't. I have two of these regular controllers. You can use Genesis controllers on here for most games as well. Also have two of these things with a giant joystick. They're pretty neat looking. I've never actually used them, but they're neat. So I'm going to move the system out of the way. This is actually one of my better collections. Not in terms of numbers, like I don't have a ton of games, but I tend to have most of the better games. And there's only a couple more that I'm looking for. So I'll start showing them. And I've arranged them so they're actually in alphabetical order, but the distant ones are the beginning of it, so I'll show it this way. So here's Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Alex Kidd was Sega's mascot before Sonic, so it's a pretty solid game. Quite difficult. The controls are backwards for most NES games, so the shoot button is jump and the jump button is shoot or punch in this case, and there's rock paper scissors in it. Here's Alex Kidd in Shinobi World, a pretty rare game actually. It's getting more and more rare as we go along, more and more expensive. Here's Alex Kidd High Tech World. I don't really like it. And here's Alex Kidd The Lost Stars, which is again not that great a game, but if I start the series, I gotta get the rest. There's Aztec Adventure. It's a top-down adventure game. Kind of slow. Not great. Here's Castle of Illusion, one of the best platformers on the system. One of the best 8-bit platformers, period. Here's the Double Dragon for the Master System. Very similar to the NES one. I find the hit detection is not quite as good, though. Here's Fantasy Zone, a cute-em-up. I don't have Fantasy Zone 2. That's one of my targeted games. I will hopefully have it soon. It's not that expensive. Here's Fantasy Zone 3, The Maze. A terrible game. It's basically, Fantasy Zone is a cute-em-up, and Fantasy Zone 3, The Maze, is essentially like a Pac-Man type game. Here's Ghostbusters, one of my newest acquisitions. Here's Golden Axe. Excuse me. And here's Golden Axe Warrior. This is probably my second rarest game. Very sought after game. If you like Zelda, you'll like that because it's basically one of the most blatant rip-offs of Zelda you'll ever see. Speaking of Zelda rip-offs, here's another one. Golvelius, Valley of Doom. It's an okay game. Pretty decent music, I find. Here's Kinsaden. Land of Illusion, similar to Castle of Illusion. Here's Master of Darkness, a great game, very much like Castlevania. Here's Miracle Warriors. It's an RPG. Tons and tons of battling in it. You really can't avoid fights. You fight every 2 seconds. It's a little stressful. Here's Penguin Land. It's kind of a puzzle game / platformer. Probably my second it's either my favorite or second favorite game on the system. Phantasy Star, a great RPG. For an 8-bit game, amazing. Music is awesome. And here's probably my favorite game, and probably my rarest too. Here's Power Strike. It was a mail order only, easily the best 8-bit shooter I've played yet. There is a Power Strike 2. It's extremely expensive. I'm hoping to have it someday, but I'm realistic about it. It's about $200. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. There's Prince of Persia. Here's Psychic World. That's an alright game. Quartet. That was an arcade game. It's okay. Here's Rocky. I couldn't care less about that one. And one last box. Here's the very first Shinobi game on Master System. Pretty solid game. Spellcaster. I mistakenly bought this thinking it was something else. I kind of regretted it after. Not a very good game. Here's Wonder Boy. For those of you who don't know, Wonder Boy is the exact same thing as Adventure Island on the NES. Here's Wonder Boy in Monsterland. And in this particular game is a completely different game than Wonder Boy. It's actually a platformer, and now without the typical throwing of axes and stuff like that. It's actually really good. It's set in medieval times. One of the better games on the system, in my opinion. Here's Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. A lot of people call this the best 8-bit platformer ever. I disagree, but it's pretty darn good. I prefer Wonder Boy in Monsterland, but still pretty good. Here's Ys, The Vanished Omens. That's a RPG adventure game kind of deal. Those who have TurboGrafx with CD probably have Ys books 1 and 2. Music is pretty awesome in Ys. Here's Zillion, which is not exactly my favorite game. And here's Zillion 2, a better game, but still not the best. And here's my only loose cart, which I will be completing soon. I mistakenly bought this loose game. I did that whole eBay thing where you pretend to read, but you don't actually read the description. So this is Lucky Dime Caper starring Donald Duck, and it's actually a really, really fun platformer. If you don't have it, give it a shot. It's pretty cheap. Alright, so that's it for my Master System collection. Probably my one of my best collections in terms of percentage of games that are desirable on the system that I own. I own most of the big ones. There's only a couple that I need. Yeah, I guess I'll come back with another video soon. Thank you.